the veil thins. As All Hallows Eve approaches, the boundary between our world and the next grows weak. As we prepare for this event, we invite the spirits of the season into our home. We transform our spaces into havens for haunts and horrors. Join me, if you dare, as we deck the halls with darkness and prepare to welcome the creatures of the night. It's time to decorate for Halloween.
All right, it's Halloween decorate time. I can't believe I'm standing here around all this stuff. We've never really fully pulled everything out. Like Tracy had a ton of Halloween stuff. I had a ton of Halloween stuff. And then of course, every year we try to add to the collection. We never really pulled everything out all together and used everything. So this is everything. This is literally everything. And we didn't really fully decorate this house for Halloween last year because we were still in the process of moving. We moved like the first week, second week of October. We did Halloween, but we didn't really do it as best as we could. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of overwhelmed at the moment. I think what I'm gonna do is try to organize it by theme, like witches here, bats here, kind of do that. I don't otherwise have a plan. The areas that I need to decorate include obviously the living room, the dining room, parts of the kitchen. We're gonna have a ton of guests stay with us in October. So for the first time, I'm gonna do like a guest room, guest bedroom decorate. We're gonna figure it out. Let's do it.
I was only organizing for a little while until, squirrel, and I found these things that I ordered from Pottery Barn in July, I think. I couldn't remember what it was, and then it took me forever to unwrap it. I mean, why would you put things in a box like this? Why?
It's just like they rolled it up into a ball and shoved it in a box.
15 minutes later.
Turns out it was these really cool 10-foot pre-lit curtain drapey light things.
So I had to add this garland because I didn't like how you could see the zip ties. Even though they're supposed to be clear, they end up being more white. So I don't know, maybe when it's dark.
I will definitely show you what this looks like when it's darker outside. I'll put all of those images of all the areas that I'll decorate at the end of the video. So be sure to stick around to the end. Not only is that the coolest part, but it's a really great way that's free that you could help support my little channel. Thank you. Speaking of the end of the video, I didn't film me hanging these things, but I hung some witches right in front of this painting. It ended up being a really cool effect in the foyer. I felt I needed to cover this because this is a very obvious summer painting. I just used a tablecloth for that. Moving into the living room, you may remember these candelabra from the fall decorate with me. I wanted to put these on the back sofa table and put my Halloween reading list here around this one on the right. I will talk about my Halloween reading list in a later video. I carried the book theme up into the little triangle window and then used another fringe drapery thing that Tracy had. Turns out this is something that you can like thread together and hang over the top of a lampshade, but I thought it fit pretty well here. I know, fringe and cats, super risky, but I'm happy to say that the fringe is still up. It was really as I was decorating this triangle part that the theme of the room sort of came together as a gothic literary theme, starting with the books and then going with the Headless Horseman, and then I had that hollow book, I don't know what you call them, you open the book and it's hollow. Anyway, that all came together. And so then I just started pulling all the gothic stuff from this, collection of things in the dining room. So in the bowl that I have on the back sofa table and in the marble bowl that I'm about to put here, I'm going to put some eyeball bowl fillers that I thought would be really cool. Hopefully they'll be arriving any day now. Moving on to the mantle, I feel like I am forever trying to find ways to hide this black box, which is basically the brains of the TV, so it has to stay there. I'm carrying the Gothic literary theme over here and using some more of those hollow books. We picked this pyramid up in Germany when we went this past spring, but it didn't really fit here and I wanted it to be in a place of prominence, so it's going to end up on the coffee table. Instead, I placed a small book of the works of Edgar Allan Poe, a candle by Mythology that is from the Poe collection, and then these other two bottles I picked up last year at Michael's, one referencing Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and the other the Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Next, I'm going to fill in some of the space with these stems I got from Amazon, which are a dupe for the ones from A Floral. And I can't remember the name of the branch, but basically the cost of one from A Floral is the cost of the 3 from Amazon. I think of all the areas that I decorated for Halloween this year, this is my favorite. Here over this archway, I decided to hang the second curtain drapey lit thing that I put on the stairwell. I could have easily put it on the entrance to the dining room, but I think it works pretty well here. I was feeling pretty ambitious with the ladder, so I decided to continue it into this back hallway between the dining room and the kitchen, where I hung another tablecloth thingy that we had, and then I was like, hey, why don't I hang this creepy spider? Turns out you can't really see the spider with the black drape on it, but it kind of fell later, and it looks like the spider is dragging up the tablecloth thing, so it all worked out in the end. I ended up keeping the arrangement that I used for the fall decorate with me, and then oops, this guy had a skull fracture. You're supposed to put like a votive in there. Anyway, I will show you this back table all lit up at the end of the video when I do the whole tour. On to the guest room. We don't have a ton of art in here already, so I decided to hang these lovely ladies above the bed. They change as you move throughout the room. So, I mean, they're not too creepy, right? You'd stay in there, wouldn't you? Okay, maybe they're a little creepy, so I'm going to tone it down with this really cute pumpkin and Binks. Now, Binks and Charlie must have been hanging out because as I was setting up this cute little throw, Binks decided to fall over and I'm talking to it like it's a cat. Just stop moving, Binks. Just come on, stay right there. Just stay. And of course, I turn around and there's Charlie, making sure Binks is causing a little havoc. All right, Charlie, off you go. Truth be told, I give Charlie a hard time, but she's really very sweet. She's just a little mischievous, as, cats tend to be. I'm excited that Ollny gifted me 2 of these spiderweb lights that we're going to hang on the house. Inside, in addition to the lights, the remote, which has all of the settings, timer, 4, 6, or 8 hours, plus all of the different settings, which I'll show you when it gets dark, and then you can dim it or make it bright. And then they also include all these different things that you can attach it to stuff. They have stakes or these little zip ties, which are perfect size for the little lights. So thanks again to Ollny for gifting me these lights. We decided to put them on the side of the house. There's not actually, oh, Charlie is here again, of course, helping us decide where to put them. There's not any street lights over here. So this side of the street tends to get very dark, and we thought a couple of these lights would light up the area in a really festive way. We are not doing a full outside decorate the house for Halloween yet. We're going to do that closer to actual Halloween. But we had our friend over who works in HVAC and is not afraid of climbing super tall ladders. So that works. Now, if you have seizure issues or anything like that, be careful because these can flash pretty quickly and might trigger some seizures. But there are multiple settings, and I will show you all of them right here. This makes the 3rd time that I'm working with this company in lighting. I did one in the spring for the backyard, and then last Christmas for by the garage on the other side of the house. And each time, including this time, I have been impressed with the quality of the product and also the ease of installation and the remote, which is really cool. I'll leave a link in the description box along with a 10% off coupon code that's valid through September 30th. So if you're interested in these, go ahead and pick them up. They're not super expensive, and 10% off is a really great incentive as well. We have a couple of pre-lit grapevine spiders that we're going to hang later onto the spider webs. I'm not sure how we're going to fix them there, but we definitely are going to add spiders later. Tracy bought a couple of packages of these bats from Grandin Road a couple of years ago, 3, 4, I don't remember. The cool thing about them is that they put little metal stays in them. Yeah, I had issues. Metal stays in them so you could flare out the wings and they would stick that way. Speaking of sticking, I had major problems. Okay, the bats came with these little poster strip, command strip things, but I was like, cheap ass that I am, trying to save those poster strips for some other project. I'm like, oh, I use regular tape or some dots or whatever. Yeah, well, these freaking bats didn't want to stick unless I use the command strip. So I learned my lesson. Don't do the same thing that I did. Just buy some more. I'll leave a link because I can never find them. Freaking bats. Yes, my little black candles needed those little candle grippy things. Non-sticky. I use them all the time. Now the theme for the dining room is kind of a mad scientist. I had 2 of those giant flasks. One is in the living room and I'm putting one on the buffet behind me. I still have my white plates, and to kind of darken them up a little bit, I'm using some black cheesecloth underneath these. These are periodic table plates. The silver tray is from Tracy's mom. That we got from Disneyland. So just a hodgepodge of things that we've collected over the years. These tinier flask elements with the teeth fillers I picked up at Michael's this year. I'm not sure if they're still available, but I think they added a really nice touch. Now these glasses, I don't know anything about them. They were Tracy's, but they have that kind of transparent skull in the middle. I saw an old-fashioned glass at Williams-Sonoma this year with the same design, so I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't have any napkin ring holding these together because you could see them with the skull being transparent, so I just got some clean hair ties to hold them together. I wanted to add this to the center of the table. It's like a plastic kind of garlandy thing. I don't know. I caught the cats chewing it and then later vomiting it. So that went back in the basement.
As we take a look at the dining room table, I wanted to take this chance to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending your time here. Your time is not renewable, it's very precious, and I do not take that for granted at all. If you wanted to support my channel in another way, I humbly ask you to check out the super thanks button. There is a button next to the downloads or something that you can click to, donate $1, $2, whatever you want to the channel. That helps cover the cost of subscriptions, equipment, all these things that make these videos possible. And if you don't worry about it. Forget that I said anything. But it's just another way to support what I do. And I appreciate you very much. All right, this side table is our little ode to Haunted Mansion. We have a couple of the figurines from Haunted Mansion, and then during the Haunted Mansion's 50th anniversary, they sold the ghosts in the bottles. So we have like the Hatbox Ghost, he's on the table, Constance Hatchaway, etc., etc. So I really like how this side came out. Close-ups of this area at the end. Moving on now into the kitchen to our coffee and tea station. I'm replacing the coffee mug tree with this little tiered shelf that has bees on it. So to cover up the bees, I'm going back to my old standby, the black cheesecloth, kind of draping it strategically to hide the bees. We have some really cute Halloween mugs that I didn't want to hide by hanging them on the little tree. I wanted everybody to be able to see them. Look at how cute they are. Tracy got these, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years ago from QVC. They don't have them there anymore, but I was able to find them on Wayfair, which is awesome. Now, I love this sign, but I am not going to link the store because I had the worst buying experience from this small shop. I ordered it in like August and I didn't get it until the following February. So I'm not going to link the store. Don't ask me. All right, these are the things that I hung in the foyer. These are the kind of creepy witch things. Not those. Those are the curtain drape things. But the things that I hung are the witches from Grandin Road. I wouldn't necessarily buy them again. They were a gift for Tracy because there's a stake that goes through the middle of them, and then you're supposed to shove them into the ground, but there's no like flat plate that you can put the stakes on if you want to use them inside. And I don't know, they just weren't very high quality, I would say, for the cost, and Grandin Road is not cheap, so I would not recommend getting these. I still think it's cool, I don't know, but I thought we should use them. So here's where they hung their brooms, and they're gonna fly up the stairs. All right, I'm gonna be quiet now and let you enjoy the tour in Twilight.
If you know me at all, you know that I do not do DIYs. Well, in the next video, I'm going to attempt a really cool DIY which I would only do for Halloween. I'll put that link right here.